Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, over 33 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 33 years later, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. So, thank God. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible, at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this, guys. You know, everybody has struggles, right? We've lost a lot of people over the last few years, and a lot through addiction and you know, even their families, right, dealing with their so-called recovery. I want everyone out there to know who's struggling that you are not alone. Someone is listening. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach, and all my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. If you think my book can help someone, because I do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and you can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. And guys, please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. Producer, I hear a little bit in my mic again. A little, yeah, if maybe bring it down a little bit. So that's better. Well, a little more. Yeah. That's better. Thank you. Thank you. So I want to give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors. Okay, so Ken Ryan and Linda Garofalo, The Way It Used to Be, the 50s through the 80s, a tribute to the greatest music and voices of all time. You know, he also does Elvis for me, guys. And this couple is such a beautiful couple inside and out. They do fundraisers for everybody, and they don't make a penny on anything. They're just beautiful people, and I just want to thank them both for what they're doing musically and for everyone out there who needs help. So thank you, Ken and Linda. I love you so much. Stormin Norman Selden, 732-245-4777, www.stormandnormanselden.com. Booking dozens of attractions for concerts and performances on venues of all sizes. He's got from a 5 to a 12-piece band as needed, guys. And a lot of people didn't know this, but he also helped oh my gosh, he also helped our friend Larry, rest in peace, Larry, okay, get started in the industry, okay? You know, I get choked up when I talk about him and everything that he's done as well. So everybody, Stormin Norman Selden, let's give him props. And then last but certainly not least, John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. Facebook group page, Entertainment Luncheon South, partner in the Joey D. and Johnny B. Rockin' Oldies Band. And guys, what Johnny and Linny does every single month is they have an incredible luncheon for all the entertainers. It's by invite only, okay? But they, listen, for I think it's $20, you get food and you get entertainment, okay? And they just promote everybody, okay? So they're amazing too as well. So I just want to say thank you to them also. And I want to talk a little bit more about Larry Chance because and I didn't know this, when Stormin Norman was getting him noticed, okay, you know, we all thought, you know, Larry Chance came out with the Earls, and he was like this incredible pop star, and he was. But no one knew what was really going on behind the scenes. And I just have to give an extra thank you to Norman for that, okay? And again, rest in peace, Larry. We love you. So, having said all that, I want to introduce my beautiful guest, okay? I hope I say your name properly, okay? LeAnn Stutler, is that okay? There you go.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so LeAnn, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
So listen, you're young, you're only in your 20s, you're a singer, a songwriter. I mean, country, rock, right? Faith music. I mean, I love it all. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how this all began for you.
Oh gosh, that's a long story.
Okay.
As you said, I'm in my mid-20s right now, and I guess it all started when I was about 3. If you could believe it.
Okay.
My parents made a horrible decision of taking me to a Jody Messina concert.
Wait, who?
Jody Messina?
How come I don't recall that name? What
Really
songs?
big. I'm All Right. Bye Bye.
Okay. How long ago was that? You were 3?
I was 3, so I saw that concert in the year 2000.
All right.
She
Okay,
kind of started to take off around 1996 or so.
Okay, continue.
But my parents made a horrible decision of taking me to see her when I was 3 years old because that was my favorite singer at the time, and she still is. And I knew from that moment that like I just wanted to entertain people, and I just decided then and there that like country music was what I wanted to do. So that's the earliest memory I have of wanting to do this.
So, how did you know you could sing?
I really hoped I could, I guess, as a child, and then I found out later I could. I guess there's a lot of guessing when it comes to this, right? I started in dance classes when I was around 3, around that same time.
Okay.
And so I got comfortable on a stage pretty quick.
Okay.
And then as I was able to start talking and moving and singing and all this stuff, my parents were like, oh, hey, like she can actually do this. And I just took it upon myself to kind of pursue it around the house and became obsessed with music and wanting to learn as much as I could. I started piano lessons at 6 because I was a little more tame then to sit down for a half hour at a time and practice. And it just snowballed from there.
Okay, so, all right. So let me ask you something now because I ask a lot of my singers this question. So, did you take singing lessons?
I did not take an actual voice lesson until I got to college.
Okay, so you were singing all this time, sounding pretty good, right? And then you decided to take a voice lesson.
Yes.
And what did that do for you?
I got more control over my voice as an instrument. Beforehand, I've even as a kid, I've always had this big voice and a very big mouth to match it. And I knew I could use it, and I thought I was using it properly. But when I was in college and I got with the right instructors, and I was a music major, so lessons were mandatory for me. So I was forced into this room, and they're like, hey, like, we got to rein this in a little bit. And I got more control. My breathing got better. My diction got better. I still have my Hoosier twang, but it's not forced. It's never been forced, but it's not overly dramatic, I guess, for lack of a better term. I just got more control, and I feel healthier now.
Okay. So who manages you?
Me, myself, and I.
Okay. Now, who connected us?
Who connected us? That was John Terlizzi.
Yep, John Terlizzi. Let's give him a shout out. John, we love you.
Yep.
Thank you for this incredible connection.
Yes, thank you so much.
He's my favorite stalker, I call him on Facebook. He sends me great people. Yes. So, okay, now, you play instruments?
I do. I play guitar primarily. I started on piano when I was young, and so I do play every once in a while. It's not my primary instrument. I played mandolin for a few years through high school and college. I played alto saxophone for 2 years in high school. And I think that's it. I have a banjo, but I don't consider myself a banjo player because I don't feel like I'm coordinated enough at this point.
Okay, so you play a lot of instruments. That's pretty
I
cool. I do. Okay, so that's pretty cool too. So, all right, so now let's talk a little bit about you mentioned someone who's your favorite singer. Who else? Who else inspired you growing up in the music industry?
Jody Messina, obviously, kick-started this whole thing for me. Jennifer Nettles is another vocalist that I get compared to her a lot, so that means a lot to me. So I kind of ran with that one for a while. Other people, Stevie Nicks, Janis Joplin, Melissa Etheridge.
Heck yeah.
Of course, as a country singer, Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire. Sheryl Crow's another big one for me.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm kind of all over that country, rock, Americana mixture, I guess. Mixture.
Okay. So now, what kind of gospel music do you like?
So I lean more towards the contemporary side of things. Switchfoot is my favorite band. I love Switchfoot. And then 10th Avenue North was another big one for me. Sidewalk Prophets. Who else? I mean, Mandiza was in there for a little while. Chris Tomlin, Matthew West, a lot of those big names for me. But the nice thing about country music too is that there's a lot of crossover between the two genres, between the contemporary and the gospel side and the country music side. So, I mean, you got Carrie Underwood in there. Reba McEntire's got some great faith albums too. So it's kind of the best of both worlds being in that realm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You're right about that. So now, the songs that we have 3 songs we're going to be playing today. Did you write them all?
Yes.
So when we'll play a song, you'll talk about it. So let me ask you about your songwriting, because I'm a poet. So sometimes, like, I'll all of a sudden something will come in my mind, and I stop on the side of the road and I write it down. Does that happen to you?
All the time. All the time.
So what comes first for you mostly? I know it's probably mixed, but what comes mostly? The music, and then you put words to it, or the words, and then you put music to it?
Most of the time, it's the words for me.
Okay.
There have been times where I've woken up in the middle of the night from a dream, and just for some reason, something that happened in the dream, I'll like mutter it to myself, and then I wake up and I'm like, hey, that could be used in a song, and I write it down.
That's right.
And then other times, I work in a restaurant as my day job right now, and I could be doing something mundane like filling ranch cups or doing dishes or something, and my mind kind of starts to wander about whatever it is that it's wandering about, and it's not that I'm having conversations with myself, but that conscious comes in. It comes a little more closer to the forefront, and be reflecting on something and be like, hey, at least this, and think it to myself. And I'm like, hey, wait, that might be a song too.
Now, do you have albums?
I have a full album out called Keeps Getting Better. That one was released in November of 2019. Can't believe it's been almost 5 years now. And then I have an EP that I released 2 years ago called Welcome to the Circle.
Okay. So now, obviously, all the songs on your album you wrote?
Yes.
Okay. About how many songs have you written?
Oh, gosh. I've got 14 that are available right now on streaming and downloading sites. I'd say after that, probably closer to 30 now on a regular, that I rotate through. Okay. That's including things that I also wrote in college for some of my classes and some of the bands that I was in at college.
Okay. So now, do you have, all right, this is going to be hard to answer because we all have favorite songs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite song that stays with you forever?
Yeah, that would be Welcome to the Circle. That one is definitely
And when did you write that one?
Actually 5 years ago yesterday.
Okay, 5 years ago. So that's yours. That stays with you.
That one will forever be mine.
So then I'm going to put you on the spot. She does not know I was going to ask her to do this. Could you give us, 30 seconds, a minute of a cappella from that song?
So welcome to the circle. This is where your life begins. Welcome to a new day, where you may lose and you may win. Welcome to the family. You're one of us now. Welcome to the open arms of love, and let them hold you now. So welcome to the circle.
So listen, I'm giving you a standing ovation from my seat, okay? That was beautiful. Thank you for that. Okay?
Thank you.
I just love listening to singers sing their music without music. sing their songs without the music. That shows your true talent. Your voice is magnificent. So thank you for that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Let's play one of your songs, and we'll talk about the song, and then I'll ask you a couple more silly questions. Okay, producer?
All right.
Is there a beacon still shining in the night? Is there someone who's not afraid to do what's right? Is there someone with more courage but not a gun? Is there still light when the clouds cover the sun? Do we argue for the world that we love? Or are we our own sacrificial dove? Do we count the allies or just the enemies? Do we need to take a step back and rethink? Chances say we're gonna lose, but our hearts know we should win. Why do we have to keep fighting for this? I wish you had the answer. Had a kiss. Do we let our children find out on their own? Or should we start to teach respect in our own homes? Do we let the innocence persist and dismiss the chaos that our world is in? We can't afford to lose, and our hearts know we should win. It's hard to fight with our minds and not our fists. I wish you had the answer. At a kiss. I know that there's a God above, and I look for him down here. At other times I thank the saints that are near. So maybe we should swap our shoes and say hello to some new friends. We can walk around together and make amends. What should we do? At a kiss.
Absolutely beautiful, sweetheart. Tell us about this song, the title, and what it's about.
Oh, we're starting heavy with this, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay, so the song is called Atticus, named after Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. I wrote this song during the pandemic when everybody was fighting about things and upset, and that was on a global level, a local level. I mean, every level, everybody was just fed up and frustrated with different things going on. And I kept finding myself thinking, what is going on? Who's gonna fix this? Who's going to put their foot down and say enough is enough? And you and I have talked before too about this. I'm a person of faith, and so we always talk about what would Jesus do.
Yep.
But I know that not everybody has the same beliefs that I do,
Right.
and that's fine.
Yes.
So I kind of took it as the approach of what would Atticus Finch do in a time like this? To Kill a Mockingbird was my favorite book in high school. It was required reading. Nobody wants to read the required books, right? But that one stuck with me, and it's still my favorite book to this day. And I kept finding myself thinking, what would Atticus do? How would Atticus respond to this situation? And I was thinking to myself, we look for the leaders in people, and he to me was the ultimate leader as far as literature goes. And so we need to find the people like him and see what they think and what they want us to do.
Amazing. I love how you put things, okay? You don't speak like you're in your 20s.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, that's a compliment, okay? You speak like you've had all this experience in life, So beautifully said. Yeah, what would Jesus do? So my email is www.jdjerry@aol.com. And I always laugh and say it keeps me grounded. It keeps me from slapping people. What would Jesus do, Jerry? Not slap that person, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so that was beautiful. So now, a couple silly questions.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, did you sing like in the hallways and everywhere? Did everyone know you could sing? And
I was in choir from
Okay.
the time I was in 5th grade all the way through graduation.
Okay.
And in middle school and high school, I was in both show choirs that
Okay.
were offered. So there was a time where I spent 7 hours in the choir room a day between classes and after school choir. So I was there. Everybody knew
But
where I
did
was
you
at.
walk around the hallway singing? See, I would have if I could sing.
No, not really. Not really.
Oh, see, that would have been me, okay? I would have been walking around the hallway singing, okay? Slapping people. All right. So now, let's play your second song, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay,
Okay.
producer, here we go.
She's a chameleon, hiding in plain sight. And when she rears her head, they start to see the light. It's a beautiful day when you can laugh in the end. There's reasons why karma's my best friend. Is she petty? Well, maybe, but she's really not like me. I've just learned to sit back and let things be. When the relationship is beyond the man, it's taken care of because karma's my best friend. No one else has got my back. She's always been there, and that's a fact. When I'm at the end of my rope, she's the one still giving me hope. She's got the best of intentions, doesn't against the world your friend. There's no one more reliable when karma's your best friend.
Beautiful, sweetie. Tell us about that
Thank
song.
you.
Ruben, my mic again. It's going up. Weird. Hello, hello. Okay. Okay, sweetie, talk about that song.
Okay, so Karma's My Best Friend started off as a homework assignment in college. I was taking a songwriting class, and we had talked about different forms of songs and how we have an A section, a B section, and A section. So a verse, bridge, and then back to a verse. That was what we were working with. And we're talking about title lines and how many syllables are in a line, and all the things that as a songwriter I don't necessarily sit there and I think about. It just happens. And maybe you as a poet also feel that sometimes, where you're not sitting there looking at it from an analytical perspective as you're writing it. So it started off trying to meet these requirements, and I was actually pretty happy with what I turned in, and my teacher gave me some positive feedback, and I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. But I felt like it was still missing something. So after I turned in the original song, I brought it back out and I added a chorus and an extra verse to it. And I found myself at the time, when I was trying to find out what to write for this assignment, I was going through a hard time in college. I had just been diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and had lost some people in my life as a result of that, because I was struggling. And as I kind of started to come out of it during this semester when I took this class, I kept finding myself saying, you know what, I may be a Christian, but I'm a firm believer in the concept of karma. And that's good karma and bad karma, because both exist in the world. And I kind of thought, okay, well, karma's my best friend then. It's just going to be a matter of time. So then when it came time to write this song, I was like, I'm going to write a song about karma being personified as a girl's best friend who does all of the dirty work for her so her hands can remain clean.
So you brought up something really interesting. It brought a memory back to me. You were talking about like your assignment. So I had an assignment, my very first poem. I was in 8th grade, I believe, English class. Okay? And we had to do something creative. So I said, all right. She even suggested poetry, whatever, something creative. And I said, all right. I was up all night, and I just couldn't. And I'm crumbling up papers, and I'm throwing them in this orange bag on my floor. I had a pink shag rug back then, okay? And this orange bag is sitting on my floor, and I was just throwing the papers in it. Like, I can't get this poem. And I'm throwing it. So I wake up early in the morning thinking I wasn't going to have a poem. I wake up early in the morning, and I hear inside the bag. So I'm crazy. I like mice. I even had pet rats. I like snakes. I had pet snakes. I'm crazy. So anyway, I get my camera real quick, because I always had it there. And it was my cat. And my cat sticks its head out like, oh, crap, I got caught. So I take this photo, and this was the quick poem. I saw a bag just lying there with papers all inside. I knew it'd be a real swell place for me to sit and hide. I heard some feet. I got all flustered, something like that. Anyway, saw some feet, looked up, and heard you're busted. Okay? So that was like my poem. And to this day, that photo of my cat in the bag on the pink rug with the poem is hanging in my office. So it's just so funny, because I always feel like if somebody puts you on the spot, it's a little harder than it just coming to you. Yeah. And from that moment on, I never stopped writing. And so hearing you about like that was really cool. So
yeah, I have a hard time to sit and write just to write. It's something that I feel like that's a skill in itself. That's like extremely disciplined. And it's something that I'm actively trying to get better at of, hey, I have 20 minutes. Let's sit down and brainstorm a little bit. Even if I don't write the whole song, see if we can get a couple lines here and there. So that is my active battle that I am constantly facing as a writer.
But you're young. So now the last, I would say, 15 years, you could give me a topic right now. I'll go home. It will be written in 20 minutes. All right. But that comes along with it. So you're young. I wasn't able to do that at your age. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's definitely a art that, I mean, nobody ever fully masters their
you know.
craft. I'm a firm believer in that. There's always room to improve.
Oh my gosh.
But that is my weakness, and I will admit my
Yeah,
weakness.
but you're gonna get there. Trust me. I'm always saying to myself, "Oh man, I thought I knew everything," and then bam, you know. So you're right. So okay, before we play your third song, is there anything that you want to talk about? Maybe what's happening, how people could get in touch with you, all that. Let's do that now.
Okay. Well, I am all over the Midwest. So if you have any Midwestern listeners out there right now, you can find me at www.leannstutler.com. You said that there's going to be a banner with my name, but I'll spell it because I have 9 different spellings and none of them is usually the right one. It's LeAnnStutler. So you can find where I'm going to be at on there. There's links to my music. Everything is on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play and Amazon and all the places people still, they get their music nowadays, because there's too many that I can't remember. And there's photos and there's videos and all the usual stuff on there as well. Facebook and Instagram are great social media sites to follow me on. Bonus points on Instagram, you get pictures of my dogs as well. So if you are a dog person, there's some quality dog content every once in a while too.
So what's going on? Like, do you have anything booked? And tell us where in the Midwest.
Okay, so I'm centered mostly in Northwest Indiana, in the suburbs of Chicago, because I'm about 35 miles southeast of Chicago, Southwest Michigan. So I've got a lot of like farmers markets, craft markets that are booked this summer, between, like I said, all over those places. A lot of beach resort towns, restaurants, and bars over in Southwest Michigan. I'd tell you dates and times and places, but I don't have the list in front of me
That's
right
okay.
now.
That's okay. But you have a lot going on.
Oh yeah, I'm fully booked for May. June, July is almost full. August is about half full. I'm going all the way through the end of the year.
That is so great. I'm so happy to hear that. Wow, amazing. Before we play the song, I have another question for you. Do you ever do like nursing homes, any of that kind of stuff?
I haven't done nursing homes yet, but I go into schools periodically and I talk to the classes.
Okay, good.
Last night I actually played at an award ceremony for our local career and technical center for the high school students. They have a radio and television program out there. I'm friends with the instructor. So I go in and I do interviews with the kids for their podcasts and their web shows and whatnot. And then I got invited to present some of the awards at their banquet last night and actually play a few songs for them too. So that is something that fulfills me too, is going out and talking with the kids that are interested in media or music or whatever it may be, and kind of telling them my perspective of what I've experienced too.
So what would you say to young people listening to give them some encouragement and hope?
I would say, one, to keep pushing, because that's all we can do is keep pushing sometimes. And know your value. It takes a while to learn what your value is, but once you figure it out, or you have an idea of what your value is, try not to let people take that away from you. Because no matter what you've done during the day, good or bad, and that it's outside of music too, or whatever it is that we want as for our goals long term, whatever we do during the day can't be taken away from us. It's put in stone. You can't go back in time, and we make peace with that and we just keep moving forward. That's all we can do.
I tell everyone, KYW, know your worth. So, okay, producer, let's play our third song.
Yes, and it takes...
Nope.
Everybody wants to be well known, but the car's a fancy house can hold you late at night. But I will meet you there knows there's more than what they see. Everybody needs to know that they're wanted, and everybody feels like they'll be forgotten. But you know that our hands ain't fit together like a glove. And when I fall asleep at night, you're the one I'm thinking of. So welcome to the circle. This is how your life begins. Welcome to a new day. You may lose and you may win. Welcome to the family. You're one of us now. Welcome to the open arms of love, and let them hold you now. So welcome to the circle. The end of the tunnel is almost here. All the stress and the fighting and the tears. And when we share the last hugs, find it's hard to break from the rust. So welcome to the circle. This is how your life begins. Welcome to a new day. You may lose and you may win. Welcome to the family. You're one of us now. Welcome to the open arms of love, and let them hold you now. So welcome to the circle. This is how your life begins. Welcome to a new day. You may lose and you may win. Welcome to the family. You're stuck with us now, and welcome to the open arms of love, and let them hold you now. So welcome to the circle. Welcome to the circle. Welcome to the circle. Welcome to the open arms of love, and let them hold you now.
Absolutely beautiful. Tell everybody about that song. Ruben,
Okay, so
okay, there we go.
that song, easily the most.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Yep.
Okay. Something sounded weird in my ears. Everything. Oh, hang on. I'm getting like a.
It's okay. We can hear.
playback in
We
my
can
ears.
hear
Is
you. Yeah. Take them off, maybe. Do you have a speaker? Let's see. Hear it. Talk.
See if that works.
All right. Let's
Can
try
you hear me
it.
now?
Let's try it now.
Okay, so it started off as it's my response to the song "Will the Circle Be Unbroken" by the Carter Family, and so many other singers and bands after them. 5 years ago, my grandfather had a stroke while I was still in school before I graduated, and my mom was on her way up to see one of my final performances. It was gospel band that night. And she called me during my sound check, and I didn't answer because I'm in sound check. I told her I was here. Maybe she just forgot what time it started. No big deal. Kind of hit ignore, moved on with the rehearsal. And then she kept calling me. And I was like, this is weird. So finished sound check. I went out in the hallway and I called her, and she's like, hey, I'm not going to make it tonight. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what's going on? She was bringing my grandmother up just to see the show. And she's like, I'm turning around, I have to go home. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Now I'm concerned. And she's like, we think your grandfather had a stroke. Your dad is going to the hospital. I'm going to meet them there. I'm going to drop Grandma Stutler off and then meet my other grandma and my grandpa at the hospital. And I said, okay. Well, I said, let me know what's going on, but I got to go on stage. And she's like, okay. She's like, it's fine. I'll call you later. So I go through, I'm singing in gospel band and I'm crying. Everybody's crying because it's gospel band, and everybody's like, she's feeling the spirit. And I'm like, just not the way you think I am. And I go back to my apartment that night, and the only song that gave me comfort was "Will the Circle Be Unbroken?" And I thought to myself, "You're a person of faith. This is a faith song. You're supposed to lean on that faith in times like these." And then it became background noise to fill the silence. And then I snapped out of it and said to myself, "You're listening to this song for a reason. What is that reason, and how does it apply to you right now?" So I woke up the next morning and I wrote "Welcome to the Circle" as my response to it. There was a lot going on with my family at the time, with my grandfather being in the hospital. I was 2 weeks away from graduating with my Bachelor of Music degree from Columbia College, Chicago. And I spent a lot of time those last couple weeks thinking, you've spent 4 years building these relationships with your peers and your teachers and all of these people around you. How are you going to maintain those relationships after you go home? And I was fortunate to have a family that always looked at my friends as an extension of the family. They would come to them and treat my parents like aunts and uncles, or a second set of parents, or whatnot. And I just kind of realized these people brought into your life for a reason, and you don't need to worry about that. Everything is going to be okay. Regardless of what the outcome is with my grandfather, with school, everything is going to be okay.
Beautiful. So we're coming to the close of the show, and I just want to say first off to you, thank you for honoring me today, because you're absolutely beautiful inside and out, and the words to your songs, I mean, everyone can resonate with them. It's absolutely beautiful. I know they touched me, and I know they're touching a lot of people. I want to give you the mic real quick. Just in closing, say anything you want to say to everyone listening.
Thank you for listening, and thank you, Geri, for having me on your show today. What else can I say? Just thank you. That's really it. Thank you.
No, beautiful.
Keep pushing out there if you want to do music as a career, and that's all we can do is keep pushing and lean on each other. It's a community. It takes a village, and we have to care about each other.
Beautiful. I'm not going to play the closing song, guys. I'm going to read my poem and close with that, okay? I want to read this poem. This is the poem I read at mostly all my shows, because I want everybody out there to know, LeAnn, that everyone has something to offer. They all have gifts and talents, okay? And this poem I wrote is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second-rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, LeAnn Stutler, will live forever, baby, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And that's what you're doing, girlfriend. You're making people smile with your music. Trust me on that. I want everybody out there listening to share this video. I want everybody out there to check out everything she said, where she's at, her music. Please do that, okay? She's an incredibly inspiring young woman, okay? So please check her out. And if you're struggling with your worth, you really need to check her out, okay? So I just want to say thank you to everybody listening. LeAnn, again, thank you, sweetheart, for honoring me today. It was absolutely my pleasure, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to be on iHeartRadio as well with this show next week. I'll keep you posted with the date. Thank you, guys.